Hey, what's up, guys? Got another video for you. My name is Bryson.
My name's Don.
And we are Tuned In Sports. And today we are going to be bringing you some action from Week 3, the NFL games coming up this week. We're going to go through each game, give you guys our thoughts on it, and yeah, just have some fun in the process.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Want to kick it off with tomorrow night's game?
Yeah. This is a potential Super Bowl preview. Miami at Jacksonville.
You mean that's who's hosting it?
Yeah.
Or...
yeah, the state of Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not who's going to be in it, but, you know, if you play on Madden, you might have this.
Yeah.
Miami at Jacksonville. I think, what's his name? Ryan Fitzpatrick, as far as I know, is still going to be the quarterback down there at Jacksonville. Not too far of a distance on the road. I think just about
straight to I-95.
Yeah, exactly. So, short trip for all parties involved. That's got to be nice for them. Who do you got taking this one?
Well, I look at, like I said, I was thinking, Miami a little bit more improved than what they've had recently. And then, Fitzmagic always has his moments when you least expect it.
Yeah.
But a guy that I was hoping that Denver would have traded for when Jacksonville had Foles and everybody else, and he kind of slipped almost to like the third string quarterback. I was like, ooh, let's make a trade for Minshew. The mustache. So that would have been great to get, but it obviously didn't happen. So now we're sitting with Driscoll. Wait, Bortles. Speaking of Jacksonville,
Bortles. I was gonna say.
Yeah. So
don't forget,
nothing but championship written all over that.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to this game. I think what we talked about in previous videos is I think Jacksonville's done a really good job, depending on how bad they've been depleted on the roster. If you look at it. But they've won one game and almost won the second one.
Should have.
So I'm going to go Jacksonville in this one.
It's really sad because, like he alluded to, I think Miami made some improvements over the offseason. Obviously, that doesn't always equate to wins. But looking at the moves they made, you can definitely tell, hey, they're trying to get better. And I was thinking they would. But Jacksonville is just a weird team. I think everybody kind of expected, okay, they're shipping it in and they're going to get blown out most weeks, but so far they've done nothing but win or come close to it. So, yeah, I'm with you. Jaguars at home, I think they're going to win that one.
Yeah, because they got the pool there. So
yeah, exactly. And I think Minshew makes up for a lot of deficiencies because he's a good player.
Yep.
He's a really good player, and, they've got some form of an offensive line.
Yep.
Maybe better than the
who
Eagles.
knows? But yeah, I was gonna say, but who knows? But I mean, like I said, it's just been a weird season, and you look like the first 2 weeks, Jacksonville has actually played really, really good, and I think you got to go with them.
Yeah, I was gonna say they seem to be on a roll. So
yeah.
I think eventually they're gonna get another win, and I think everyone. I mean, this game is really a toss-up, though. Yeah. Because Fitzpatrick, you never know what he's going to do.
Yeah, and like Thursday night game, you never know.
Yep, exactly. Short week.
Yep.
So, all right, moving on to Sunday's first matchup. We got the Chicago Bears at Atlanta.
Against the mighty Falcons.
Yeah, the unstoppable.
Except for themselves, they stopped themselves. Yeah. You think a bounce back on that one, huh? You think? I don't know. Or did they actually just go in the tank?
This is a weird game because Chicago is 2-0, but they're lucky to be. And Atlanta is 0-2, but they should be at least 1-1, if not 2-0.
Yeah.
So it's like you almost kind of flip it a little bit. Like Chicago... Yeah. I mean, they came back against the Lions, and then last week they almost blew the game against the Giants. So that tells me that they're not that great. But then Atlanta, they've played some decent teams.
Yeah, they played Seattle, and then they just got done with the Fulton Cowboys.
And so Atlanta's at home, but I think Atlanta's going to win this game, just because they're at home, and I think they're just a weird team, and I think they're going to get their win eventually. Chicago, I think, is lucky to be undefeated right now, and I think against the Atlanta offense, I just see them losing this one.
I was going to say, you got a coin. I don't know how to pick this one here. I have to think that there has to be some lingering effect from that game last week with Atlanta, and then I'm sure they're just taking a beating with the media. So maybe they might be a little bit more angrier and might be a little bit more focused. Man, that's a tough one. But since it's Sunday, and I know that Chick-fil-A's closed on Sunday, and since that's what they serve there at the stadium, I think I'm going to go with the Bears. Stop, Bears. And for Gale Sayers.
I mean, honestly, like he said, it's a coin flip. Either team could win it, and either way, I'm not putting it on my card. Maybe the over and under, if you were to be betting. The under. But other than that, no. That's a coin flip. Rams at Bills. I think that's going to be a really good game regardless. What do you think?
For the Rams' sake, good thing it's happening in September and not later, because that would definitely change my pick. Because I'm going to take, the team that's in 2 feet of snow that's accustomed to it. Well, the sunny side of LA, I don't know. That's a little rough. Toss up. Rams has potential. They've been showing it. That they're really, really good. Again, Dallas team, and then they beat Philadelphia. Which isn't much of a measuring stick with it, but
But then again, who's Buffalo played? Miami and the Jets, right?
That's the Jets. Right. Man, this again. As always, it's probably an early morning game. West Coast teams usually have a problem going back there, so I'm going to take Buffalo.
Yep. I think the Rams have looked really good, but I think Buffalo they got something special this year, and I think at home, I think they pick up a win and prove that they're for real this week. Not just another team. So.
Speaking of special,
the
Washington football team at the Browns.
Game of the week.
Special.
Game of the week.
That is special right there. Man, what a wow. What can you say? Well, nothing.
Wow. All you can say is cryogenics. Wow.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know about Washington. Like I said, defense is going to be stout for him, which will probably give Mayfield issues. But again, their offense isn't as good either. So, man, this is a rough stuff. Cleveland, again, as always, potential versus what they actually do.
On paper.
And again, you just don't know. I'm going to go with the Brownies.
I'm going Washington simply on what he said. Baker versus Ron Rivera.
Okay.
Because he's going to have some defense whipped out, and I just don't trust Baker whatsoever. And I mean, they could easily go the other way. I could see the Browns winning. Again, on paper, if they play the way to their potential, minus the quarterback, they should be one of the better teams in the league. But I just don't trust Baker at all. So I think, like he said, Ron Rivera is going to have that defense ready to eat. And I just see Washington. If Haskins plays decently, I think Washington should win. But again, I mean, you're really picking straws.
Exactly.
Tennessee at Minnesota.
Beginning of the year was looking like a pretty good one. I mean, Minnesota has really underperformed, to say the least. I wasn't expecting this performance from them out of the gate. As again, usually strong defense, running game, and then Cousins has to make a few throws every once in a while, and he's going to be golden on there. But unfortunately, that hasn't happened. It's like they're out to lunch.
The funny thing is that in one, I think it was the Dent Sports video, Dad made a comment about we got to play, some of these other teams, and we haven't even played the toughest team in the division yet with Minnesota. And I'm like, well, they haven't won since he said that. So
you should do that all the time.
Yeah, I was going to say. Next he should say we haven't played the Packers twice.
Yeah, exactly.
See how that works.
Yeah. Seems like a good
Minnesota, they should be really good this year, but for whatever reason, it just hasn't worked out so far, and I don't see it happening this week. Tennessee is just a different monster. They're solid. They are got a running game, and they've got a defense. And I just think Kirk Cousins hasn't played that well this year, and this is going to be a weird game for him to have his coming out party against that defense of the Titans. So I'm going with the Tennessee on this one.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you. I mean, you guys know that I'm a big fan of the way Tennessee plays ball.
Yeah.
Again, if Minnesota has performed the way they are, but again, these two teams are mirrors of each other. They're going to run the ball. They're going to play solid defense on paper. Again, I know Minnesota hasn't done it yet. It's probably going to be close, or maybe even go to overtime is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
But I'll have to say I'm going to go with the Titans.
I was going to say, biggest prediction, this won't be a blowout by any stretch. Yeah. I see it being tooth and nail, to the wire, 13-12 kind of score. I mean, I definitely, if you're betting, I say the under for that. But then again, the under is going to be at like 32.
Yeah, exactly.
Something crazy. So
20.
Exactly. The under is going to be just above double digits. Yeah. So that's going to be a good game though. But we're going to end up getting to watch probably Las Vegas at New England.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Again, I think you said it best talking about the Bills game. Same thing here. I think the Raiders are lucky that they're playing New England in the fall months.
Yeah.
Because in the winter, it gets pretty crappy out there.
But again, I mean, Gruden's first stint with the Raiders, which is now in Las Vegas instead of Oakland. That he's with. He had him until the Tuck rule came into play. He was actually beating New England with it, until some weird stuff happens in New England, and he got him. So again, if Gruden comes up with the Spider 2 wide banana like he always does, he might be able to get this one again. But I don't know. Looking at the defense that they put up with the Saints, I don't think that's going to happen again. And then their offense. If New England can't cover the tight end, it's going to be a long day for them if they can't cover the tight end, because that dude is just a beast.
Yeah.
With it, but I got to go with the home team with New England. I think coming off that road loss in Seattle, I think they get right back onto the horse, and I think the Raiders are a good team, and we're going to be the best competition we see, and then we'll be moving on to next week. That's all we got to do, right? Where's my sandwich? But I got to take Belichick.
I'm with him on this one. I think the Patriots are going to be the team that comes out victorious. They played well, but they lost in kind of disappointing fashion, not getting it in on the goal line. So I think the troops will be rallied, and honestly, I just think a lot of people, maybe not people that really know football, but I just think the media in some ways is just kind of counting the Patriots out. And I honestly see them losing, I don't know what their schedule looks like, but I honestly see them losing maybe 3-4 games this year. I think they're going to be really solid. I think Cam is better than Brady was at the end there. So I only see them improving, and I don't think this will be one of their losses. I think Vegas is going in the right direction, but I don't see it happening here. I think coming off a Patriots loss, it's almost like Saban. Last thing you want to do is play him after he just lost to somebody.
Exactly.
Because you're going to be... those guys were running sprints and all kinds of stuff all practice long, getting ripped up and down.
Yeah, especially Gilmore, who was covering Metcalf this past week.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
I mean, I haven't had toast like that since breakfast.
Exactly. But what I will say is, don't put Gilmore on Waller. Because that dude
is going to lose.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
If he can't cover Metcalf,
dude, Waller might not burn him speed wise, but
he'll just post him up.
If they play defense on Waller like the Saints did, Raiders should be just fine. Because apparently he can catch a wide open ball, and Saints didn't want to do anything about that. So both of us think probably New England, but it should be a good game though.
Yeah.
I think. San Francisco at New York. Giants. Unfortunately, we haven't gone to the Jets yet, but
You never will.
Yeah. Instead, we get to talk about the team from New York that I can't stand.
Yeah.
With that being said, though, San Francisco, they've got a lot of injuries. I don't even think Garoppolo's going to be playing this week.
I don't think the way he was hobbling around in that game last week.
No, and in some respects, just looking at it, do they need him? Because I think they have, but then again, they've got other big injuries like the Bosa.
Bosa's gone. Two of their defensive linemen went out with ACLs and.
But honestly, on that team, is he really the difference? In my mind, I think he's just serviceable.
Is he? I think Bosa's a big piece.
No, not Bosa.
Oh,
Garoppolo?
Yeah, yeah. Well, no, he's usually throwing interceptions.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, throwing 4 picks and they still win.
Yeah.
So
despite his,
Bosa is a huge deal.
Bosa's a huge deal.
You're probably like,
wow. I was like, are you okay? I know the Eagles are 0-2, and
COVID check.
Yeah, exactly.
COVID.
Where's that scanner?
I'm talking about Jimmy G. I mean, I think, he's serviceable. I think I don't think he's the reason they win. So even if he's out, I don't think there's any reason they should play him. If they do think he's the real deal, then there's definitely no reason they should play him. Because in my mind, even though they've got some injuries, the Giants, I see them beating the Giants still. Even if Garoppolo's out, I think a backup could go in there. I just think they have enough weapons and a good enough defense that it's going to be a rough day for the Giants, especially with no Saquon.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be hard to keep them honest with the running game when there's no Saquon back there. So, Not saying the other players can't run, but I just don't see it happening.
Well, I'm going to say this is going to hold on to your hat. This is the second week in a row that the 49ers have played in New York, right?
Uh-huh.
And they were complaining about the field conditions last week.
Yeah, they were.
7 guys went down. So guess who's going to be a little shell shock? They may be a little bit lighter on their feet. I think it's going to be San Francisco. So what? I'm going to go with the Giants.
Hey, you know what? I'm not upset with that. I could see it. I mean, San Fran just has a lot of injuries, and the field they're already upset. Like you said, exactly. They're already upset with the field conditions. It's not going to get better in a week.
No, it's going to bring back memories.
Yep.
They're going to be like, man, this is where Bosa blew out his knee. Oh, hey, this is where this guy blew out his. Oh man, coach, I'm done.
Yeah,
time.
I'm outie.
Give me a sub.
So moving on to my team here.
The Brother Bowl.
Cincinnati at Philadelphia. So if you guys have watched some of our other videos, you know what I think of the Eagles this year. I don't think we're very good, and it's going to be a long season. With that being said, I've been reading reports. There was something that came out today where they were talking about who has a better chance at turning the season around. Is it the Vikings or the Eagles? And they were saying the Eagles, and a lot of people were saying who's the team that's 0-2 that has the best chance to win their division, or who's the team that's struggling with the best chance to turn it around. And I keep hearing Eagles, Eagles, Eagles. And I just keep saying to myself, are you guys watching the same team? Because, I mean, there's a ton of struggles in a lot of areas. And I think the Bengals are due for a win. And I honestly think it's going to come at the expense of our team, of my team. And I'm not saying, I mean, I know I was being a little harsh on the Eagles before, but I just think that we're struggling a lot, and the Bengals are kind of on the rise, hungry for their first win. They were so close twice now. Again, Mr. Bony Leg, and then the next time, just the defense didn't show up. But Burrow's played great in both. I think the Bengals are gonna beat us. Even though I do think that the Eagles are probably looking at this game as, if we don't turn it around now, we're done. So I think they will show up for this game. But I don't know. I see Cincinnati pulling it off.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, Cincinnati, now you look at it, now we got a couple weeks under the belt. I mean, they lost the Chargers at home, which hung with the Chiefs.
Yep.
And then, then they played the Browns, and then they've had a little bit of time to rest up since they played last Thursday.
Extended
so they have
week.
a few more days.
Yeah.
And then the Eagles, like you said, it's the Eagles right now. It's tough.
Yeah.
On that too. And so again, I can't gauge off the the football team and then the Rams. It's rough. They're at home, and again, I'm sure they've been hearing it all week.
Yeah.
from everybody in the
including me.
I was gonna say and everything that's with it. Man, this is a tough one. I think. You know what? I'm gonna go with the Eagles. I think the Eagles are gonna pull it out. I think they're just gonna stomach it. It's probably gonna be ugly.
Oh yeah.
But I think something just tells me though. I think Philly's gonna do it.
Yeah. We're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if the Eagles win because, like I said, from a fan standpoint, I'm looking at it like if we don't win this game, we have no chance the rest of the season because I don't remember which team we play first. I think we might play the Steelers first, but we play the Steelers, the 49ers, and the Ravens in consecutive weeks. Now, the 49ers are injured right now, so that might give us a bit of a break, but, the Steelers and the Ravens are going to be just super tough. I definitely don't think that we're going to have a great chance in those games, and so if we don't win now, we're going to be so far behind that there's just no catching up. No catching up. So I would not be surprised if the Eagles win this week because their backs are against the wall. And we're going to see what they're made of this week because they have to perform. They have to. The season is on this game right here. Yep. So if they do win, it wouldn't surprise me. But the way they're playing, and the way Cincinnati's been just this close every week, I think they get over the hump this week. So,
Hump's good.
Yeah, the hump's good, Brian. The hump's good.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Steelers,
Hey.
Houston at Pittsburgh.
I think you know how I feel about Houston.
Yeah.
But again, if Deshaun's able to pull another rabbit out of his hat, then that's going to be their way. They're going to win.
Yep.
Pittsburgh, pretty decent. Again, I think Denver had them last week.
Yeah.
And they weren't at full strength, so it's another toss. But again, when it comes in doubt, I'm going to go with the coach, and I'm going to take Tomlin over O'Brien every day.
Dude.
So I'm taking Pittsburgh.
He said it. Tomlin over O'Brien. That's the biggest difference for me, for sure. So, yeah, Pittsburgh, they're at home. And, yeah, I just think they're going to win. Houston should put up a fight somewhat, at least for part of the game. Yeah. But if they start getting behind, they're in trouble.
Well, yeah, if they if they start teeing off on Watson, which the Steelers' front seven is what they do.
Yeah.
It could be a long game.
And from what I've seen so far, heck, the Chiefs were getting in the backfield every play.
Yeah.
And they're not, I'm not saying they have a bad defensive line, but that's not something you don't think of the Chiefs and say, oh, yeah, that's the team with the stellar defensive line.
Yeah.
And they were in the backfield. They might as well have been his offensive line. That's how close to him they were the whole game. So, yeah, Pittsburgh, they're going to get out to a lead, and I just don't see Houston ever coming back once that happens. Okay, moving on. The other New York team, Jets at Indianapolis Colts.
Next game.
Yeah, if you guys have watched our other videos, sorry.
Yeah.
Carolina at the Chargers.
Yes. I don't even know who's starting this weekend. I know it's only Wednesday.
Herbert.
I would think it would be Herbert because I'm sure with whatever the medical condition that Tyrod Taylor had, probably isn't healed up enough.
No.
And again, if you go toe to toe and then make Kansas City beat you with 58-yard field goals, and then with McCaffrey out on the other end, I gotta go with the
Chargers.
Formerly known as San Diego Superchargers. Now they're just the Chargers. So.
Now they're just the Chargers.
Yeah, because they're LA, originally. So yeah, just the Chargers.
Yeah. This is a really tough one because I feel like even though Carolina's 0-2, they've played a lot better than some teams that have better records. In the Vegas game or the Raiders game the first week, I watched a lot of that game. and it was just back and forth. And then last week against Tampa Bay, the Bucks struggled week 1, so you kind of figured that wasn't going to be what you see every week. Wasn't surprised at all that they kind of found their stride on against Carolina, a team that's just trying to figure things out. But I think they played better than their record shows. With that being said, Chargers. I think Panthers are on the rise, but they're just not there yet. And I see the Chargers picking this one up, winning this one. Hey, speaking of our teams, Tampa Bay at Denver. Woo! Yeah, unfortunately, I'm going to have to say Tampa Bay on this one just because, again, on paper, they're just really solid backup quarterback for Denver. If they had a better quarterback, or if Locke was playing and he was doing really well like he seemed to be doing in the first game, then I would say I think that they could win. But with the backup, especially, I don't know if Bortles, have they announced, is Bortles going to be starting, or is it going to be Driscoll again?
He'll be either number 2 or the emergency number 3.
Oh, okay.
I would have to say, because at least Driscoll's been in camp.
Yeah.
I would have to say he still gets the nod. And again, last week, 250 yards and 2 touchdowns, and he shouldn't have had the interception because that was on Sutton before his knee blew out. So I think he played decent.
He didn't play his way out of the job, that's for sure. No. He did everything he could. Again,
it was really bad special teams. Yeah, like the punter.
Jelly fingers.
Look at me, I'm still in Detroit.
No, I completely agree. I feel like they, he did everything he could. A couple of, if he plays at the end there, but again, that's why he's not the starter. He's a backup, and for that, he played as good as possible. But with that being said, I just think Tampa Bay probably going to pull it out, and yeah.
Yep. Well, and good news too for my team is Goodwin is coming back this week too.
Yeah.
So he gets to add another weapon to this cog.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic. But I remember though, and I was there last time Tom Brady faced the backup quarterback for the Broncos. He lost to Brock Osweiler. Awesome stuff. It was fantastic.
Yeah. Especially now.
With
how people look at Osweiler.
Who's Osweiler? Yeah, anyway. Yeah, L. So, you know what I mean? Again, I wish it was later in the year because when it was nice, it would be nice and cold and snowing like it was that night.
Yeah.
For right around Thanksgiving. But, of course, the schedule makers had to make it this way.
They wanted to make sure.
Yeah. So, with it, and I know, again, we're got the injury list huge.
Yes.
As everybody else seems like these days. But you know what? I'm going to go with the Broncos. I think they're going to pull one out because the only reason why is we got to keep the record of Tom Brady has the only losing record against us. We have to make a stand here this weekend to do it. So, FYTB.
Hey, you know what? Even though I don't know if the Broncos are going to win, I think they're going to play them tough. I think the easy choice, you just look at, Tampa Bay against a backup quarterback. Bucks are going to blow them out. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think if I'm a betting man, I'm actually betting on the Broncos.
Good luck.
And that's exactly what the casinos love to hear.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
So, no, but I think the Broncos are going to keep it close. I really do. I just don't know if they have enough to take it over the edge and win the game. Yeah. But they are at home, so that helps.
I'm just hoping altitude takes a nice effect.
There you go. So. There you go. Okay, moving on to...
Is this the, according to your dad, this is the do or die Patricia and Bluto. Is Bluto going to stay around or is Bluto going home?
His job is on the line, right?
Yeah, well, that's according to partner in crime at Dent Sports.
Yeah?
I think so.
Detroit at Arizona. Woo! Well, unfortunately, Patricia, pack your bags, boy. You're not winning this week. I just think Arizona is serious this year. Kyler Murray, obviously, can't say enough about him. I think he's going to be a really good quarterback in this league if he can stay healthy, because, I've seen it even with Cam. Love to scramble. He's a monster. You got to deal with his dual threat capabilities. But then injuries start piling up, and that can go away real quick. But with that being said, I don't see Arizona losing this game at home to the Lions. I don't see it.
Well, last time I think Detroit played them last year, the first week, I believe.
Yeah.
And I think they should have won that game.
Yeah, they
the
should
Lions
have.
did. So I think with that is, to give you hope and say, well, Detroit has a chance to do this. And like you said, I think everybody's backs are against the wall in that case. But the only problem is Arizona's gotten better this year.
Yeah.
And I see Kyler Murray just slicing and dicing that defense up a little bit. And I think Stafford is probably going to have a long day as well.
Yep.
I totally see Arizona in this. And then according to Steve, good luck. And
yeah. Good luck in New England.
Send your resume back to Bill.
Yeah.
Maybe him and Quinn, he'll get you guys back.
Yeah,
but,
as their current defensive coordinator takes a head coach job somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah, I mean once whoever leaves out of that situation. But hey, good luck. Polish it up, and hope you brown nose Bill enough to get your jobs back. Or Kraft.
Hopefully the
Either way.
menu is still open for you.
Yeah, wicked piss up there. But yeah. So anyway, on to the next one. Dallas at Seattle. Hey, this is the last time I remember this was Tony Romo dropping the field goal from short range and bobbling the snap on that one. Dallas, lucky to escape with a W.
Yeah.
Last week with the Falcons. I don't see Pete Carroll doing any of that.
No.
I just see the Seattle team. I mean, even though they lost their linebacker, I think Irving is gone for the ACL. But as usual, I've seen Carroll bring the guy that's delivering the beer and playing cornerback, and then did an all-pro performance in the playoffs, and they won the playoff game. It might have been two guys, but I know for sure there was one guy that was delivering beer, and he plugged them in and performed on Sunday. So I just totally see this again, another home game. I think Dallas is going to be in a state of euphoria, and I think everybody's going to be like, oh wow, it was a great game, and you came back, and I think Seattle is just going to punch them right in the mouth and then bring them right down to reality, and then say goodnight.
Yep, completely agree. I think the action is going to start with Seattle jumping out to an early lead. I wouldn't be surprised if you see the usual Metcalf tomfoolery. Is anybody going to guard this guy? Are we going to have a safety over the top, or is he just going to blow past everyone? Yep, he's just going to blow past everyone. Dallas, I'm not confident in their offense, as sad as that is with, the supposed weapons that they have. They've got people on the field that can make plays, but Seattle is a serious beast. And I see them winning. And they're another team, like I talked about with New England, I just don't see losing very often. Mm-hmm. And I don't think it's going to start here. On top of that, last year, now I know it's a new year, but last year, Dallas did not have a win against a team with a winning record. And, they managed to beat Atlanta last week, barely, but I don't see Atlanta having a winning record. On the road at Seattle being one of the, as far as I'm concerned, they are probably my favorite to come out of the NFC this year, right now, from what I've seen. So, yeah, Seattle. I see them winning pretty handily, actually, too. I don't think it'll be that close. Green Bay at New Orleans. New Orleans is returning for another primetime game in the night.
Yeah, man, that game last Monday night was pretty rough for New Orleans.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know if they can play another half of football like that again. And again, especially at home, again, not a big of a home advantage than normal with the Superdome crowd.
Yeah.
With the limited number of people, if any, are there. And then, Green Bay, you're going. I mean, all of a sudden, with all the talk of how Rodgers is mad and doing this, it might have been just enough to piss him off and actually come out and play. So, and again, looks like they got a running game. I mean, they housed the Vikings.
Yeah.
And then they pretty much in the second half dismantled the Lions.
Yep.
With it. But again, it looks like he has a running back, so he doesn't have to do it all himself. And then he just has enough of the receiver talent with Adams to get what he needs to do. So I totally see Green Bay like Aaron Rodgers dumping Danica Patrick. I see him taking down the Saints.
That's a great breakdown.
Knowledge.
Yeah.
That's going deep.
Surprisingly, I completely hear everything he said about Green Bay's offense. I think they're great. They seem to have a running game this year. I don't know if that's more telling of the defenses they've played so far or not. But what I will say is what I've seen of the Saints defense doesn't suggest that this week will be any different. They're going to get the ball thrown and ran all over them. And as far as I'm concerned, it's only going to be a matter of how many points can the Saints score, because there won't be defense played on either side, as far as I'm concerned. Green Bay, their defense is okay, but I think New Orleans' offense is better, so I give the nod to a New Orleans offense. I think it'll be a shootout, and you know what? I'm actually going to go with the Saints, only because I think they're going to bounce back. It's rare that they lose at home, let alone... Well, actually, no, they didn't play at home last week, huh?
No, they were
in
Vegas.
It was just in another dome.
Yep.
I don't see him losing 2 weeks in a row, so I'm going to go with the Saints.
Okay.
But, again, it's no defense will be played. It's going to be a shootout. Whichever quarterback plays better will win.
Yep.
But, then again, when you see Drew Brees versus Aaron Rodgers, that's what it's always going to be, because those guys... Even against the best defenses, put up 40.
Yeah.
How many points did they score against the Vikings, who are...
Yeah, it was 40 to 43, something like
40,
that. Yeah, it's like...
Only 43?
43, only
Wow.
43.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank goodness they had the number one defense last year.
Yeah, exactly.
Woo.
And,
it could have been 70.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the reason I'm like... he's on a mission. I think Aaron is.
But I totally see why that's the Sunday night game,
good
because
choice.
Come on, everybody's going to be tuning in.
Yep.
We'll be watching it.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Talking about it. So, I'll
be either crying or happy after the Broncos game, because that'll be right after.
Yeah, and Dad will probably be
he's
ready.
Got the Detroit game.
Yeah,
too, so.
He'll be ready to fire.
He'll be happy if Patricia's gone.
And then he'll get to watch Green Bay.
Oh yeah, well that's gonna turn him stomach.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, it'll be a good game. And last but not least,
AFC Championship preview. Most likely.
Well, I said that last year, and look what happened.
Yeah, Tennessee
right? happened. But if you just look at who is just stacked.
Well, you got the Super Bowl MVP versus the NFL League MVP, right? That's what you got here. Right?
Yep. So, I'm gonna go with Kansas City, even though I think it's a pick 'em, because I think both teams are really good. The difference being, though, I think Baltimore's defense is actually better than Kansas City, which is why I think Baltimore is the obvious pick. But I just think Kansas City, they lost last year in a really tight game, and I think they get their win back right now in this game. I know it's on the road, and again, I think Baltimore's defense is better than Kansas City offensively. I don't think the Chiefs' defense is that good, so I think it's going to be just a back and forth scoring fest, just like it was last time they played. But I just think, even though the Baltimore defense is better than Kansas City, I think the Chiefs get their win back in this game.
Okay, yeah. As I look at it, again, I'm always slightly slighted against the Chiefs, as always. which I should be.
Yeah. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, exactly, with those. But, the guy does throw left-handed passes in our games. So, but with it, too, is, again, hopefully Andy Reid has the defroster on and his little visor this weekend. So, hopefully, he can see his menu. See things clear. Yeah, so he can order the Szechuan number 133 with a side of Mushu, number 14.
Exactly.
On that menu. But I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna have to go with the better hardball in this one.
Yeah.
Just because I think again the Titans kind of showed the blueprint, and the Chargers executed it with their rookie quarterback last week. Is what do you got to do? You got to control the clock. Well, Baltimore runs the ball.
Yeah.
That's what they do there. And guess what they've got? They've got a good defense, right?
Yeah.
So at least they can hold Mahomes in check.
Yeah.
So the thing with it is, as long as Baltimore does not fall behind really fast and down by 3 touchdowns or something crazy like that, I think they're going to have the edge on it.
I completely agree.
Because I think they have the blueprint.
Yep.
Or what blueprint you should use to beat the Chiefs.
Yep.
Because, again, the Titans almost did it with it.
Texans.
Texans, for the
first half.
First quarter.
First quarter.
But with the Chargers had done it. San Francisco had it all the way up to the fourth quarter. I mean, they were up by 10. And they only scored 10 points, the Chiefs did, with all that weaponry and all this stuff. So I think if you can sit there and just have a powerful defense, which definitely Baltimore does and always does, and they're going to be able to run, because I'm not going to trust to throw the ball, because we know what happens usually in those situations with it. So if they're able to pound the ball with J.K. Dobbins, Ingram, and himself, and then when you get those obvious running downs, and they can be able to throw it to the receiver and tight ends, it might be a long day for Kansas City.
Yeah, I honestly completely agree, and I just think Baltimore is a bad matchup for Kansas City.
Yeah.
Because, again, like he said, what's the blueprint to beat them? Run the ball, time of possession, and defense.
Yep.
Because they don't have a good defense. When Mahomes is sitting on the sideline, he's not doing anything.
Yep. And
above all else, when their offense is on the field, if you have a defense that can at least contain it, they're not outscoring you.
Yep.
What do the Ravens have? An offense that can perform in a shootout. If they're banging on all cylinders, they can put up as many points as you want them to.
Yep.
So all the things that Kansas City does well, Baltimore either does just as good or better.
Yep.
So I think it's a bad matchup, and I mean, honestly, I do think Baltimore should win this game. I think they should. I think they're the better team overall. But I don't know. For whatever reason, I just see Kansas City getting the win back. But I completely agree. I think, like I said, biggest thing is I think Baltimore's the better team.
Yep.
So if they play like the better team, they should win.
Yep. So nevermore Kansas City, as quoted by the Raven, and I'm picking the Ravens.
Best of luck. You're going to lose.
Exactly.
So we're going to have a few coaching changes after this week. And
if you listen to the pundits.
Exactly. And a couple barn burner games. We'll be coming to you next week with that Washington at Cleveland review and Miami at Jacksonville. We can't wait to break those games down for you. So, any final thoughts?
Go Driscoll!
There you go. Eagles, get your crap together. If it's not this week, it's not happening. So, prove me wrong. I think we're going to lose this week. Prove me wrong. That's all I can say.
All right. We're ready off to next week. Next week will be week 4. We'll do this up again, I think.
Yep.
I think it's worked out pretty well. And,
yeah.
I hope everybody liked it. So.
Yeah. It's fun to get into the games. Yeah. Just talk more football. I mean, any excuse to talk more football. Especially with everything going on right now with, politics season coming and all this stuff.
It's only going to get worse.
Let's talk more football. That's all I can say. So, if you guys enjoy talking football, make sure you tune in to Tuned It In. My name's Bryson.
My name's Don.
And we'll see you guys
Stay safe.
Next video.
Go Broncos.
Yeah, go Eagles.
Eagles.
Egg rolls.